when it comes time for ELDs, if they are ever permanently mandated, or for sure mandated, which I'm sure they will be, truck parking is going to be unbelievably bad. I'm pissed off right now. I'm really pissed off. I went home for a couple hours tonight, and it's trick or treat. So I stopped right pretty close to the house, like a couple blocks away from the house, in a little shopping center parking lot that is really not used much at all. And had the wife pick me up there, and went trick or treating with her and the kids, and then she brought me back to my truck after dinner. And I figured I'd drive on down to Cincinnati. It's only about an hour and 10 minutes from the house. And I got to be here in Cincinnati by 8 o'clock in the morning. So I figured I'd come on down to a truck stop that I know well down here, that's been down here ever since I've been driving truck, and then some. It's an old truck stop on exit 29 on 75. Figured I'd go on down there. Been a while since I've actually been to that area. Got there, when I say a while, I mean like a couple of months. When I got there, the whole goddamn parking lot was leveled. Well, the building was leveled. Parking lot was just barricaded off. Nowhere to park. The whole goddamn thing was just shut down and just barricaded. And it was the last truck stop before Cincinnati, going south on 75, unless you wanted to go into Kentucky. But I knew there was a rest area like half a mile south of that exit. Go to the rest area is completely full. Surprise, surprise. Leave the rest area, and I figure, well, there's a Walmart at exit 21. I think we're 21 here. That at least used to allow trucks to park on the parking lot. You drive by there, and there'd be a good 15 trucks there. Signs everywhere, all kinds of signage saying no tractor trailer or RV parking allowed. Absolutely none. So here I am, turned around, got back out of there. Now I'm sitting on a goddamn get-on ramp, staring at 75 southbound. The problem is we need truck stops built, not truck stops torn down. These dumbasses want these fucking ELDs to be mandated, and they're sitting in their goddamn suits and ties in these fucking air-conditioned offices in these comfy chairs, and they don't know the first goddamn jack shit anything when it comes to truck driving. And they're sitting in there pencil pushing these goddamn laws because they think it's going to make everybody safer. How is it going to be safer when the truckers can't even find a place to park, to get rest? These laws aren't going to mean jack shit if we can't find a place to lay our heads down at night to begin with, to get the rest that we are legally binded to stop for. They don't get that. They do not get that. They don't get that when you make these laws and everybody has to stop at the same time, truck parking that is already, it's already a scarcity, and they want to make it downright impossible to find. Truck parking is going to be as valuable as gold if these ELDs become a reality as far as a mandate goes. Truck stops are going to start to charge a premium for their parking. I can see it now. I mean, it really will be. It'll be a gold mine for these truck stops because people are going to have to stop, and they know that they have. It's going to be a supply and demand issue. That's what it's going to come down to. They're going to supply the parking, and we're going to demand it. There's no other way to think about it, as far as I'm concerned. Because right now, I'm already screwed when it comes to parking. Because there was a big truck... it was a big truck stop. There were... it was a old truck stop. I can understand why it was torn down, because it wasn't exactly well kept. But it had a lot of truck parking. And I could always count on that truck stop to have a place for me to park if I came down here to take my break. Always. There was never a time where I went to that truck stop and couldn't find a place to park. And then to top, of course, the place I'm going to Kroger's in Blue Ash, Ohio, in the Cincinnati area. You're not allowed on their property before an hour, or, more than an hour prior to your appointment time. Well, my appointment time is at 8 in the morning. So, actually it's at 8:30. So I'm not allowed to even show up there till 7:30. So, you've got the shippers and receivers that aren't letting you drive to their parking lot ahead of time to take your break. It is such a shortage when it comes to truck parking. So here we are. Just, I don't know. The get-on ramp I'm sitting on right now, there's no signs saying no parking allowed, but it's such a, we're so close to Cincinnati that I could easily see this being a no-no, especially, come morning time. But I'll be out here by 7 in the morning, so hopefully I'll be out here before it gets too busy. But, like I said, it's something people just don't understand. And then there was something on CDL Life today about these 4 people that were victims of truck accidents. They were in 4-wheelers, and they were called victims of truck accidents. First off, that's the dumbest goddamn thing I've ever heard, because it's a proven fact that 90% of, at least the vast majority, I don't want to say an exact percentage, but at least the vast majority of accidents between an 18-wheeler and a car, the car is at fault. Okay? So keep that in mind. They had 4 of these people that were in accidents with 18-wheelers while they were in their 4-wheeler. They put them in front of, I guess it was in Washington, to demand, several ridiculous mandates for truckers. The ELD mandate, speed limiters, forced sleep apnea testing, and I forget what the other thing was. But these guys, they just don't understand. First of all, it's obvious they're using them as pawns, but you cannot take with any credible value, you cannot take the word of somebody that is going off of strictly emotional distress. These 4 people, if they were in accidents with an 18-wheeler, they are not coming at this with logic. They're coming at this from a viewpoint that's nothing but emotional. So those are the last people that you want. Those are the last people, even more so than the people in DC that are writing these laws. The people that have nothing but emotions to invest into this are the last sons of bitches that you want dictating what our future is going to be like behind the wheel on these goddamn roads. They don't know jack shit. All they know is that something happened and they got into an accident with an 18-wheeler, and then it was probably their fault, and then they were probably contacted by a goddamn blood-sucking ambulance chaser that wanted them to, utilize the insurance money from the trucking company to pay them to pretend that they were the motherfucking victim. I'm pissed, guys. I'm pissed off. I don't normally, drop the F-bomb in my videos. I try to keep it clean. But holy God, I'm pissed off. These people don't know what they're doing. They think these people are obviously the kinds of people that think government fixes everything. Government fixes nothing. There's not one fucking thing that government has fixed and had it remain in a subdued nature, so to speak. Government always needs more money, and they always need more time. Nothing is ever fixed by government. But these people think that government has the answer to everything, especially when it comes to telling the truck drivers how to run their business and how to drive their trucks. They think that it's up to government to tell us when to sleep. They think it's up to government to tell us when to eat. They think it's up to government to tell us when to take a shit. They think it's up to government to tell us where we can park. They think it's up to government to tell us where to stick our dicks at night. And I'm sick of it. I really am sick of it. We're losing parking out here, guys. We're not gaining parking. Yes, we have Loves. There's a lot of Loves being built. I know that there are quite a few Loves being built, which is great. I like Loves. I like Pilot more just because I like their coffee. But Loves is a close second to me. So I'm glad that they're being built. But there's more truck parking that's being torn down than there is being built. And like I said, this truck stop that I was expecting to stop at probably had close to 200 spots. It was a big truck stop. It wasn't a pretty truck stop, but it was a big truck stop. And it was a place that we could legally go and park and not have to worry about it. But, granted, in the last, couple of years, maybe the last 3 or 4 years, there's been a Flying J built in Vandalia, Ohio. There's been a Loves built in Dayton, Ohio. Those two truck stops right there maybe, made them feel like it justified tearing the place down. I don't know. But there's the Pilot there in Franklin, Ohio, that you can't park in. It's never there. It's so busy, and the parking is designed so poorly that it's almost impossible to leave in the morning if you have a truck on each side of you and there's trucks in the lanes in front of you or in the parking spots in front of you. You've almost always got to ask somebody to move. Even if they're in a spot, you have to ask somebody to move because they designed the parking lot to be so cramped that you just, if all the spots are filled up, you can't just simply pull out. It's absurd. So I won't even park there because it's just too hectic. And of course now it's just always too full. But anyways, I'm done. I'm done ranting. I've been ranting here long enough. It's just unbelievable, guys. Our industry is being flushed down the toilet. And then all we have on YouTube is drama this and drama that. I don't have answers. I don't have any answers. I mean, obviously, I know more truck stops need to be built. Some people need to keep their goddamn noses out of other people's business. When it comes to people that have never been behind the wheel of a truck, trying to tell the people that have been behind the wheel of a truck what to do. I could have just stayed at home tonight. If I'd known that this would have happened, I would have just stayed at home. Because, the only reason I came down here tonight, instead of staying at home, was so I could avoid rush hour. I didn't want to have to drive through Dayton during rush hour. And I didn't want to, be in Cincinnati at rush hour. I wanted to get as close to Kroger's as I could so that I could get right up and drive straight in there. As any responsible truck driver would. But anyways, I'm going to bed. I'm going to get some sleep and just hopefully I can sleep this annoyance off. Well, I'll never sleep the annoyance off. It's always going to be here in the industry. But hopefully I can have a better day tomorrow. Alright, so guys, you take it easy, be safe out there, and I hope you can find some truck parking. I don't know when that truck stop was torn down. It baffles me. I really had no idea. I pulled in there, into that little street there, to go into that takes you to the entrance, and then it was just flat. It was really eerie, to be honest with you, because I didn't have any idea that it had been torn down. It was kind of creepy in a way. Just wasn't expecting it. So guys, we'll see you later.